Hello, everyone, and welcome to an all new Deep Cuts Live. I'm your host, Antoine Reid, and today we have with us Rick Rodriguez. So, some of you may know him from his days at CAO, but now he has his own cigar company. So, I'm looking forward to speaking to him about West Tampa Tobacco Company and his new blends and just what he's been up to in the last year getting this brand out there. So, let's bring on Rick. Rick, how are you?
Good, man. Hold on, I'm thirsty.
The product placement.
Yeah, yeah. No, bro. Great. We had a great weekend. We're doing a little photo shots this weekend and some videos this weekend with my daughter and talking about kind of getting ready for some photos and videos that we're going to release. And so it was a great weekend. Hard because every time I went to light a cigar, somebody's stop. Let me take a picture of that. So it's so cool that I could just smoke a cigar. Smoke a cigar. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Like I said, I've been wanting to have you on the show for a while, so I'm glad. I know when you were still, I remember getting the press release when you were still at CAO that you were gonna. I think I forget the wording they that was used, like retire or something like that, and I was like, oh my gosh, and I remember saying like this would be a great time to like speak to him because I didn't at that time like the news hadn't come out about your own company. So I was like, this would be a great time to have him on. I was like, what if this is like it? Because you never know in the industry. Sometimes people retire from the industry and they really do retire. And then other times they kind of like retire just from that position and they come back. So luckily you were that case. So we had another opportunity to have you on here. So I was very
Yeah.
excited to like finally get you confirmed and set up on here because I just have followed you obviously for a couple of years now. So
Thank you.
excited to kind of see what you were doing now with your own company.
So I did retire for 48 hours. So I left General Cigar. I had an event on a Friday and did that event. Actually had a microphone that they gave me and I dropped it. I'm out of here. And then that was great. And then I set the bar so high, the sales were so high that for the last event, because everybody thought I was really leaving the industry, so they really supported the shop, the store, me, and they bought a lot of stuff. So I left General Cigar with the bar so high. Even Cohiba is going to struggle to get to that area, and our cigars are like $20 and $30. So but yeah, so I knew that at the back of my mind that Monday we're going to drop what I'm doing, and I was lucky enough to drop that the Monday that we're releasing and starting West Tampa Tobacco Company, and so that was great. And but I spent over 24 years with General Cigar, and 24 great years. I owe this company so much, so many thank yous, so many hugs for the opportunity they gave us and my family to, have this quality life that I never dreamed possible. And so after that, I knew that I wasn't done. I was just done with a corporate side of the world. And talking, and we'll share how it all came about with, Gus Martinez, my partner, and then bringing in Sarah, my daughter, to the fold and starting this company called West Tampa Tobacco.
Yeah, it's like I said, like you become synonymous with CAO. So I think that's why it was such a surprise when everybody got the press release and it started to getting posted on Half Wheel and Cigar Aficionado and and Tobacco Business, which is what I work for during the day. And it was just such a like because your buzz like Rick Rodriguez, like I mean, CAO could stand on its own, obviously, but like I
Yeah.
said, you have become synonymous with it, so it's kind of hard to kind of see how you two kind of existed in different universes. So for you, like, what was that like? The you know separating yourself from CAO and saying, and then I guess in the back of your mind, obviously you said, well, there is a plan. I just can't tell anybody yet. I have to, like you said, kind of let this go because it would kind of taking the steam out if I guess if it came out and that, Rick Rodriguez is going to retire, but he's going to come back 48 hours later with, own brand. And that would kind of have been a little bit of a conflict because I guess you kind of had to play out that CAO
I agree.
chapter of
Yes.
your life. So how
Yeah,
did you
yeah.
separate yourself from the CAO stuff?
Yeah, so it was sad. It was hard to make that decision because some of these people are not only people I work with, but after 24 years, kind of form these friendships. They're family because a lot of times, throughout my career with General Cigar and CEO, I spent more time sometimes with the reps and the factories and other people that are working with CAO more than I did with my family because I was constantly out on the road and all that are in the factories creating new blends. So it was a chug of my heart. But the blessing is I knew, yes, I'm ending one chapter of my life, but I was looking forward to the other chapter. And the reason we really didn't share it or leak it out because I didn't want to take an ounce of time away from CEO. So, like I
Mhm.
said, everybody say, "What? I know you're going to retire, so why are you still out here doing events and all that?" One was to say goodbye, and the other one was simply to, pay justice to this company that was good to me. So I wanted to give them every ounce of energy I had left for CEO for that last event, and I did that. And knowing that on Monday that we're going to announce what I'm doing for the future.
So how far back had you kind of already planned West Tampa? Like how much preparation led up to basically the announcement that came out, like you said, soon after you were done with CEO? There was an announcement ready and the logo was ready, and I think y'all had a website kind of up. So there was obviously a lot of preparation that kind of went into the launch of it.
Well, I was blessed to have a partner like Gus to really, do the heavy lifting in the background because I did. I still had a job, so I need to focus on 100% of my time that I gave to CAO. So a lot of calls at nighttime, a lot of calls on the weekends, Sundays. So when I had to get involved, I was, but later after hours. But Gus was able to really collect everything that we needed to be able to say, okay, we're going to switch out the lights on CL and turn the lights on and not have to wait, 18 months. So we started this project about 18 months before I left General Cigar. And so, like everybody, bro, like in 2020, everybody had time and everybody started to shift their minds from, what I'm going to do, what's my purpose in life. And so, I know that my daughter and I started to talk about maybe 3 to 4 years ago. Dad, she's been traveling the world after she graduated college. She just kind of went into the world and just visits all these countries. But she said to me, if I retire. So if I come home, could we ever work together? And I knew the answer would need to be no if I'm still working with General Cigar. General Cigar is not going to hire my daughter to make me happy and her happy. So no, you know what? I don't know. Well, I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe we can do a shop together. And so that was the plan. At the beginning in 2021, I got a call from Gus, and and me were more friends than workers because Gus, at the beginning, he was kind of upper management. And so I didn't deal with him every time I went to the office, but I visited his office every time. And we just talked about our families and, things outside of the business. And we formed this friendship. So since he left General Cigar about maybe 3 to 5 years. I'm sure, but he left, but he always kind of stayed in touch with me, called me my birthday, called me out of the blue, called me every year at the beginning of the year to say, wish you, happy New Year's. And in 21, he called me, says, what are you doing? I said, bro, I think I'm going to retire. I think I'm going to retire and just kind of build a shop in Tampa and kind of, just moseying down the river. And he says, that's interesting. I want to get back in the business because he was doing some business part time after
Mhm.
he left, but I was be interested. And we started to form this plan to build a shop in Tampa. And the more and more we got into it, the more and more he realizes, Ricky, I'm out. I can't do this. Whoa, I can't do it without you, because I'm smart enough to be smart enough to understand. I'm smart in tobacco storytelling about tobacco and all that, but I'm not a business guy. And he's a very good business guy. So he says, no, let me help you. We'll do this job. And then he called me one down out of the blue and said, bro, I'm out. Because what's going to happen, I still live in Richmond. He lives in Richmond. I live in Tampa. You're going to have to run this job by yourself. And all I'm going to do is collect money off of your hard work. And it's going to put a strain on our friendship first and the business relationship second. So I'm out. And I said, well, okay, that's not good for me. What he says, have you ever thought about your own line? Swear to God, I've never thought of that. Never, because I
Wow.
was so happy with CAO and General
Right.
Cigar. I've never crossed my mind. I'm ready for my own line and all that. So no, I said no. But he says, let me put a business together, and we can review it and see if that works for us. And little by little, he started to put this business plan together. We kind of leaked it out to a couple people. Just read this, see if you're interested. And the response back, bro, we're in. We're in, from us tobacco guys to box guys to guys that want to import for us. We're all in. And I said, okay, that's done. All right, Gus, one more thing. If I do this, could you ever allow me or want me to approach Sarah, my daughter, to bring her in to the phone and make it really a family kind of business? He says, that would be excellent. Have you talked to Sarah? I said, no, I have not talked to her as far as what her, part would be, but let me call her. And she was like, Dad, if we could do that, I would love the opportunity to work with you. And so it's like a kind of a snowball that started in the top, and just rolling and getting bigger and bigger. And we realized we have something. And so we put that business plan to work. And that was 18 months ago. And now going on 21 months ago, because we just released at the trade show. And so we started that way, and all of a sudden we said, bro, this is going to work. And I remember talking to Gus and say, if we can go to the trade show and open about 75 accounts to 100 accounts, I think that would be a great start for us. Oh, bro. Yeah. More than 80, are you 75 accounts? So we're just talking to our sales force today, and we announced to them that we're already in 200 shops in the
Wow.
U.S. and close to 250 shops doors, because a lot of the shops that have multiple doors.
Mhm.
So that was handled, and then we're global also. So we had to reach out to a partner that we partner up with in Europe, and then we're in now 8 countries in Europe. And so I'm going to go to the trade show next month for the European trade show, and we're going to talk to. There's interest from you right now. Some of the countries that we don't have right now in the fold that they're interested in seeing us at the trade show is Spain, Italy, and France. And so we're going to maybe walk away from the trade show with 12, 13 countries in Europe right now. So we are a global company, but we're so excited that the U.S. market was, so excited to have the opportunity to work with us. And so we blew out that hopefully we have, 75 accounts, and we're going to be okay. And so, yeah, so it's amazing. It really is amazing.
I think that's great that you set a goal that was attainable. 75 I know is a lot in this industry, but still it was something that even if you didn't hit that number for some reason in the trade show, I mean, you still had room to kind of, and probably the manpower to get to that this year. Just maybe it was a little bit, it may have just been slower, but you've already exceeded that, as you pointed out. So I think that's important. That's probably, I would think that has come from your kind of background as an entrepreneur, and also knowing the industry, like what works, because so many people get into this industry and sometimes they don't have that background like you do. and they set a goal that's, instead of setting like accounts, they may say we need to make this much money, and then they don't hit that thing, and then they're like discouraged, and then they're worrying because they base everything on a monetary amount. But like I said, I think the account approach is so smart of you to kind of, you and Gus, to kind of figure out.
Yeah, for us, throughout this process of building this company, not once was mentioned how much money do we need to make and how much money are we going to make. And that was never an issue for us. It's always about how many cigars can we order and how many accounts that we can open up, guaranteeing these accounts that they're going to have the product to reorder. Because what I kind of found out going around this world and new, companies open up, they're so excited about the opening, and all of a sudden they open more than they can or should open, and they get in trouble very quickly when they go to, oh guys, your cigars are blowing out of my shop. I need to reorder. Oh yeah,
Right.
maybe in 2 months we can give you that order, and that's a death of MD cigars. So we purposely target accounts knowing that the product that we're going to receive will allow us two things: to fulfill that opening order, but also stash aside a third of our product for reorders. And that's a lot of money just sitting there. Hopefully they're going to sell it through and reorder. So we're so lucky that not only that we open the accounts, we're already in 2.5 months. Some accounts are into their fourth reorder for
Wow.
products. But we have not said yet, oh, bro, we've grew too fast, too big, and we don't have the product. So I think the shop owner are very happy that, kind of shaken. Can I reorder this? And well, yes, you can. And we ship it that day. And they're, oh my God, you're the easiest company. Matter of fact, Gus was saying this to the team this morning. We're getting response back from the shop owners. You guys are one of the easiest companies to work with because we order and we receive, and we just want to thank you for that. So we do act big as far as our planning, because General Cigar taught us, okay, you have a launch, but set aside product for reorders. And
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes the smaller guys do not take in that account. Yeah, so it's a lot of money to sit down in a warehouse. It's like, no, don't worry about it. We'll get through that product too.
And I think that's important that you also figured out what the retailers want in terms of like service, like figuring out that the quicker that you can get product to them, the happier they are, especially in the last 2 years with the pandemic kind of messing with the supply chain. And, I know that there's retailers out there who they love a certain product, but they just can't get their hands on it yet because that product is still being made or still waiting to be shipped. So
Hmm.
figuring out that, like you said, having a nice stock of product on your end that you can just send out to them really quickly. I think that's something that maybe a lot of companies in the industry right now kind of they're figuring it out, but they're figuring out maybe behind the eight ball. They're figuring out a
Yeah,
lot too late that product delivery is kind of what's going to make a big difference with a lot of the retailers.
because we knew, because of my history, we knew that we can open 1,000 shops if we want to. We knew that, and but we don't want to be that, because we want to be the company that means something to those shops that we care for. So we're never going to reach that 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 accounts. We don't want to do that. What we want to do is be something special to each and every account that we have in our book. And so with that planning stage, it was easier for us to say, we need this much to open and this much to fulfill. And that started that little train down the track.
So when you first came up with the idea for your own company, how soon did you start developing or working on blends for your product?
Mhm. Kind of quickly because we need to kind of put that we didn't want to put the cart before the horse because without the cigars you're not nothing. So you can do all the planning you want, but at the end of the day, it's about the cigar. So we reached out to about three manufacturers. Okay, let's go back. The manufacturer before we started to reach out, we kind of talked, who are we going to reach out to? Do we reach out to the big guys, the General Cigars, the Atadas, the AJs of the world, because we know that they have the tobacco, they can fulfill anything we need. But we also realize through working with General Cigar, you become a number. And so we just want to be a number. So we purposely reached out to smaller manufacturers and say, we're going to, kind of put all of our eggs in what's basket, but you have to be able to fulfill what we need. And so after that process of like, could you do what we want? Yes. Now let's get into the blends that we want to for you to make. So I didn't have the opportunity to go to the factory and work on blends and develop the blends the way I do with CAO. But what we did was, okay, we're going to give you what we want, the wrapper we want, the body that we want, the taste profile we want, and all three was the same. So, guys, this is your goal. Give us the cigars, and we received about, I think, 5 to 6 samples of white and black from each of the companies. And we noticed that right away that Garmendia, the guy that we really approached and worked with, now West Tampa, that he was hitting a home run after home run after home run. If you can give me a blend without me being in your factory and really give me the blend that I really want to host and talk about, you're something special. And he knocked it out of the park. But when we went to his factory, I did visit his factory. I realized, I think we're going to need a bigger boat because he was small. And I'm used to going into a factory, the DR, that we have 1,000, 200 rollers. And the Honduras, we have maybe 700 rollers. And the, Nicaragua, we have 500 rollers. Garmendia had 30 rollers. And so can you produce and keep up with our demand? And he guaranteed I can. And we realized talking through him and then seeing him person to person at the half factory, this guy knows the opportunities being given to him, and he takes a challenge. And just we're so happy that we just worked with Jose and Garmendia, because every cigar from the first batch to the fourth or fifth batch we're receiver now are the same. And so compliments to him. Now I am going to start to play more in a role and going and launching new product and really diving deeper into blends and working with him and his team to give you guys other cigars, the future. But for him to give us exactly what we wanted without me interfering was something special.
And I know from reading your biography that you do have a background and you learned at some point early on in your career in the cigar industry, like how to blend a cigar, which I think is critical because obviously, like I said, I think it would have been a lot harder for you probably if you were going to launch your own company. You didn't have that blending capability to kind of say like what exactly it was that you wanted. I mean, you could have said you want a cigar that kind of has this flavor profile, but you would have gone through so much. But you probably, that blending background probably gave you a little bit of a better foundation. So just tell people a little bit about that part of your career, that how you learned how to blend cigars, because I think that gets glossed over so often. I think you and Michael Herklotz are two people who have like this blending background that kind of gets glossed over, unfortunately, by so many. But it's a big part of like who both of you are. So tell us a little bit about your background in blending.
It's kind of like a doctor. You go to your doctor and love your doctor, and he takes care of you. We don't stop and say, "Hey, where did you go to school? Where did you learn to be a doctor?" And so that's glossed over, like you said. And for me, I was so lucky at the time that I was approached. This is going, back to 20 years ago when I was first approached by Mr. Coleman, the owner of General Cigar. And he simply said to me one day, "I need your help." And I said to him, "Whatever you need." The answer is yes before you ask me, because I love your company and I love what I'm doing. He said, "No, your days of selling cigars are going to be over. We need to start to prepare for the future. A lot of our blenders are master blenders. I'm just a blender. So master blenders are retiring. Benji Menendez is going to retire. Uh, you know, um, uh, La Gloria from, Ernesto Perez Carrillo was going to leave General Cigar, and he was going to retire. And so we need to prepare for the future. And so if you want this opportunity, what we're going to do is just send you to the factories, and we're going to train you in both factories. At that time, we only owned, General Cigar owned two factories, one in Honduras and one in the DR. So I went and trained in those factories to train how do we receive tobacco from the farms, and what do we do to process the tobacco, to roll that cigar, to box the cigar, and to ship it. So that training came in this kind of 6 months in the DR and 6 months in Honduras. Not once did they mention to me the process of blending cigars or tobaccos to make a cigar. That came when I started to work with Benji. And Benji, if you guys and girls, if you don't know Benji Menendez, just Google that name. He is a legendary owner of a factory in Cuba. He owned the H. Hutman factory in Cuba. His grandfather and dad started H. Hutman in Monte Cristo. And so that was taught to him, and Mr. Coleman put us together for 5 years. And my job was to go around this country with Benji and do events. But that taught me only so much. But the downtime, the driving to the next event, the flying together, the hotels, the wrapping it up at the end of the night, that is where I started to pick his brain. Could I ever use that tobacco and this? No, there's going to always fight each other. If I was going to use that wrapper, these are the fillers I would use because they work together. And he taught me how to do blending. And so after that training of close to 7 years, they thought I was ready, and I took over blending with a team called Team La Gloria, and we formed Team La Gloria to start to manufacture without Ernesto. And it was me, Michael Giannini, and Yuri Gideon that was the general manager of the factory in the DR. And so it took 3 guys to replace 1 guy. And so we did that for about 18 months, and all of a sudden we merged or bought a CAO, and that blender retired, and I got a kind of a tip on my shoulder. We think we're going to move for you from La Gloria to CAO. And I fought and fought. Oh, whoa. La Gloria's doing this. CAO was doing this at that time. So I didn't want to have anything to do with CAO. But they said, "Oh, bless your heart. He's asking you." No, we're telling you what you're doing. And so I went to, CAO. And now I look back over that time. Thank you so much, because what CAO did for me was giving me a blank sheet every time we want to make cigars. And so there's no way that, looking back, could we ever do a Amazon basin through La Gloria? It doesn't fit. Could we ever do a flathead with Macanudo? It doesn't fit. But for CAO, it fits. It fits. You want, a new tobacco. They're known for that. That's the DNA of, CAO, was introducing new tobacco. So if you want to offer something for Brazil, for the Amazon, perfect fit. If you want a flavor cigar, you could do that. You want a new age cigar like Flathead, we could do that. You want a classic, we could do that. So it was a blank sheet. But I realized when I was working with, La Gloria, it was kind of cornered into that Cubanesque theme.
Mhm.
And so it would hamper your growth. But because he allowed me to do that, I was very willing and interested in creating my new line. So I was not scared of creating West Tampa because I already knew I'm using new tobaccos, kind of developing new project for CAO. So it was just a natural fit for me to do my own.
And what was that transition like, moving from, the huge kind of playing field that General Cigar kind of operates on, to suddenly having your own brand? Like, how did you navigate that? Because I'm sure that took a little bit of an adjustment.
It is scary. It is scary because you're going to from access to any tobacco known for cigars at your access, and so to a factory says, well, we have how many wrappers do you have? Because I'm right now I'm going from General Cigar. We had 18, 20 wrappers, and so I have three and a half. Like three and a half. Like what do you mean? What's a half? Well, we ferment one a little bit longer and it just turns the color different. Like that's a wrapper in their eyes. Okay, that's great. But as a chef, to go into a kitchen and say, I have access to pork, beef, chicken, fish. I have access to any ingredients I want to use. That's great. That's great for a newbie. But as trained chef, make me a great dinner, but I'm only going to give you four to five ingredients. Could you do your magic? And that is a challenge, and that's a challenge I wanted to kind of have. And so yeah, it is definitely scary, but not scary enough to like I can't do this. And so I look forward to what can I do with a lack of tobacco and still give the fans of myself or fans of CEO what's not next for Ricky. This is it. And so it's amazing that you don't need that much tobacco sometimes. All you need is to focus with your team and kind of get that concept in your mind, that profile for body to flavors. And you can, Benji one time taught me, if I give you two wrappers and five fillers, what combination you think you could, it's unbelievable how many cigars you can release. Say 200 just using that combination of half of this leaf and all of this. And so when you look at that, bro, I don't need access to 18 wrappers, 20 wrappers. I can have two or three wrappers and just make, for me, 30 years worth of delivering different cigars, different bodies, different flavor techniques. So as a chef, I'm always think of myself as a chef because everybody can relate to that. And so that's the reason I use food so much when I'm talking to people because, for me, just as you go out there and say, oh, the level of the, pH in the soils, but bro, I'm not a farmer. But, I'm using chicken for this wrapper and beef for this wrapper. I got that. I got this. So I want a mild cigar. I use a piece of light fish and I throw some paprika and some lemon, and that'll give you a great fish dish. And so I'm always kind of picture myself or as a chef, instead of using food, I use tobacco to create these beautiful experiences that you can enjoy. And so it was hard. It's scary, but now that I'm in with Garmendia, and I know that we have a partner that we can trust and love, let's go. Let's go to work. And we did two cigars right away, and two cigars that we think that in our mind perform so different. But if you really break down those cigars, they're virtually the same. The wrapper on white and black are the same. One, that's the half. Remember I just said I have three and a half. So the white is Ecuadorian Habano wrapper. The black is the same wrapper that we're just fermenting about 3 months longer, changing that color. So when you look at the white, what I want you to focus on, what I want you to deliver to your palate is the wrapper. That is the main component of that cigar flavor. But if I'm using the same, virtually the same wrapper for black, what do I do? Oh, reverse that. Make that flavor come from your blend and downplay your wrapper. And that is what we did with white and black. So if you really dissect the cigars, you'll notice, bro, it's kind of the same cigars. But that is what I've been kind of teaching everybody. We're all using the same tobaccos. I am going to use the same tobacco CEO is going to use, Rocky Patel's using, Poping is using. We're all in line. But when we get it into our kitchen, when we get it into our factory, we can work with that tobacco to and different techniques of fermentation, aging to deliver you guys different experience. But everybody's using the same tobaccos, but the process that we all put that tobacco through allows us to create different flavors in different bodies throughout that experience.
Yeah, and I love the using food, since we all eat food of some sort, to kind of describe your tobacco, because it makes it so relatable. One of my issues that I sometimes have is, a lot of the companies get very technical sometimes about how they describe a cigar. And it's like that information is helpful, but like I'm not an aficionado to the point where, I can just see a tobacco and automatically say, oh, that's going to give me this flavor. So, but if you were to describe, the cigar to me in terms of food, or just use that kind of like relatable, I think that's part of your, probably experience as a storyteller, being able to make it relatable to a larger group of people, and even your non-cigar smoker, than just sticking to the wrapper, binder, filler information. Because, there are some people out there probably like me who you can say wrapper, binder, filler, and we'll just kind of blink at you and say, okay. But if
I
you
agree. I
there,
agree with that
it's completely
because it is different because what Benji taught me is that lesson. There with your knowledge, Ricky, you can talk to and answer a question three ways. If somebody comes to you and say, "Hey, what's the difference between natural and Maduro?" and you're in a shop and there's 50 people and they're hanging on your words, and you say, "Okay, that question was asked of me," and I say to that guy, "How long have you been smoking cigars?" "I've been smoking for 10 years." "And you don't know the difference by now?" Bro, I just embarrassed that guy. Every other hand goes down because I'm not going to be your fucking, kind of your Plato to embarrass me. So the hand goes down. The other way you can answer, like you said, over talk them. Oh, well, the reason we chose this because the level of the soil. I'm not a farmer, Or you can say simply, "Hey, bro, that's a great question. To be a Maduro, we're just trying to draw out the natural sugar in that tobacco. That's it." So naturals, we do not want to draw out the natural sugar. We want that wrapper to just be that taste. But for Maduros, what we're going to do is extend the fermentation time, heat it up a little bit more, breaking down the starches, turn into the sugar. So if you look at black and white, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, I love your black Maduro." It's hard for me to say stop, and I look around, make sure that nobody's hearing, because I don't want to embarrass them. Bro, that is not a Maduro. It's just a process to turn that wrapper a little bit deeper in color, because a Maduro in our eyes, and I have a Maduro right here, or a black. And so to really have that Maduro, all you do is taste it before you light it. If you taste natural sweetness in your lips, that's Maduro. If you take the black and rotate it and pull it up, there's no sweetness because it's not Maduro. It's not Maduro. But everybody associates a darker cigar with either Maduro are too much body. That's wrong and wrong. And so it's my job to explain in terms that they can understand, and sometimes quietly, to not embarrass that gentleman or that lady. Just say, "Oh, I love your Maduro. William, thank you so much." And I look around. Hey, by the way, it's not Maduro. So they walk away. Bro, I just learned something, but he didn't embarrass me. Answer that question for you.
Somebody was asking from Facebook, what is your favorite profile note in a cigar? Do you have one?
Yes, of course I do, but it depends on the time of day that I'm smoking and enjoying that cigar. So, like every blender I've ever come across, what I realized that they don't smoke only mild or medium body cigars or full body cigars. When am I going to smoke that cigar? So I tend to smoke white in the beginning of my day and to open my palate. After a steak dinner, I don't think white had the enough body or enough flavor to overpower my steak dinner, but black really would. And so it depends. Note wise, sweetness. I love sweetness. I love one of my favorite wrappers to work with is Connecticut broadleaf because it's sweet. And I can downplay that sweetness with changing the blend and focus on the blend. So sweet, sometimes earth, sometimes pepper notes. I'm not very big on spice notes, but more pepper notes. But it's that's the beauty of cigar smoking. What do you enjoy? Because I can say, hey, bro, love this cigar. This is the world's best cigar I've ever made. For who? For me. It's up to you to enjoy that cigar and say, hey, Ricky, I smoked the black. I don't like it, but you're white, bro. Heaven to me. Thank you, because you know your palate. I don't know your palate. We think we know. So when we make cigars, we're making it for the mass, not for one person. So the mass is the reason we chose to make black and white. So we can get out there and say, oh, if you're not a fan of medium to full body, check out my white. Oh, you're not a fan of, full body, a light cigar, check out my black. And so it's up to you as a smoker to pick up that cigar and make your own, opinion about that cigar. That's the reason we really don't share. If somebody says, oh, what's your blend? Yeah, bro, no. The more you don't know about your cigar going into that first time, the more you're going to really be able to know that cigar if it's right for you. Because if I say, okay, I have, some Honduras, Nicaraguan tobacco. Oh, I hate Nicaraguan tobacco. Why? Well, I'm a mild smoker. I lit up a papine. Oh my God. They're known for that, bold flavor, that big body. So that's not the right cigar. So they set in their mind, I'm not going to like that because I had a bad experience with that. No. So if I with you or your fans, do not do any research of the cigar that you want to pick up for the first time and experience that cigar blind. And then, oh my God, he has Nicaraguan in it. I didn't think I liked Nicaraguan. No, you didn't like that version. Okay, go back to food. I love, McDonald's. I hate Burger King. What? It's a beef patty with a bun, but the process of that beef patty, I don't like. So if I only ate, Burger King, I would, kind of drive by McDonald's. I'm not going to go in there. There's no way because I experienced the Whopper and I didn't like it. Well, no, try the Big Mac. And you're going, oh my God, thank God I didn't fucking, listen to myself and, visit, Burger King and now McDonald's.
I think what you said kind of goes along with why I, as a content creator and person in the media, I don't do a lot of the industry reviews like this is a 91, this is a 93 and stuff like that, because I always feel like my job as a media person probably is more so to give people like you to come out here and talk about their cigars, and then I hope people will listen to what you have to say about the cigar
But
and go out and try it. Like, I don't ever want to be the type that says this is a 91 and they in their mind it says, oh, 91, that's, that's so. I'm only going to smoke 93s, or or say this is an 89 and they go, oh my gosh, that's terrible, like 89. Like, that's why I feel like you said, it's a good idea for people to kind of maybe go into smoking a cigar with very little information other than that they want to try it, because they'll be surprised sometimes, I think, by trying something that they think that they don't like for whatever reason. Like you said, like maybe it's a brand and that brand has some other lines that they don't like, and then they have one that could become your new favorite. So
exactly, because I think for me is if you're looking at a cigar, we're living in an age of technology. So if you want to know the blend, there's so many ways to find that. You don't need to hear from me. You can go and just Google right now, the blend for West Tampa white and black. There it is. But do yourself a favor, smoke it. And they say, bro, I love this cigar. I think it has some of my favorite tobacco from Nicaragua. And oh my God, I'm getting better. It is Nicaraguan. But also, you can learn. I thought I hated Nicaraguan tobacco. Now, what other cigar I'm missing out there that has Nicaragua that I was walking past because I had a bad experience one time with that guy. And so that guy, a rating system to me, it's not, I'm going to say bullshit, but a 91 could be easily an 80 for somebody else. Oh, maybe he's an 80 cigar is, oh, it's a mild cigar. It's like smoking paper. But that guy that loves a mild cigar would say, bro, that is a 95 rating cigar for my palate. So that, I don't know. I don't talk about ratings because we tend to only highlight what? Oh, look at this. Oh my God, Black just got a 91. Well, your white got an 87. You didn't talk about that. Well,
right.
Yeah, I don't want to take about. It's like, you know what? Don't worry about ratings. Really, your palate is your palate, and who knows that palate of that guy that rated your cigar at 75. I want to say, stop. Let me ask you a question. Before you rated my cigar, what time was it? Oh, it was 9 o'clock in the night. Okay, what was your day like? Well, I started in the morning with a breakfast burrito, and I ate a hot dog with chili on it, and then I had 2 or 3 Mountain Dews, and I had dinner. And I didn't like my dinner because my wife, forced me to eat some fucking vegetables I didn't like. And so now I want to rate your cigar. Really? Your palate is destroyed. And so now you're going to rate my cigar? Bro, just rate your own cigar. When you go into a cigar shop and you have 1,000 boxes open in your humidor, it is your job to find the little nuggets in there for you. And you're going to be able to pull out cigars and say, I love this cigar. And somebody's going to say, I wouldn't smoke that cigar. I wouldn't give that cigar to my dog. Well, I don't care about your dog. I love the cigar. So everybody's different.
So I know people probably have asked you this, especially at the trade show and at the events that you do, but you have 2 cigars, and I have them here. You have the black and you have the white. So I know people are probably asking, like, what's the difference? Like what's the spill? Especially when, like you said, when you don't want to really talk about the blend. Like, what do you tell them? What's the difference between these two cigars? Like, I'm sure that there's a time of day, like you said, that maybe one of them is kind of better for than the other. So what's the kind of sales pitch or the spiel on these cigars that you kind of created?
Those questions I love to answer. So when I smoke the white, I get some citrus and some finish of kind of cream to it. It's, bro. Again, if you smoke a white that's citrus, got apple. Okay, you're right for you. Did you enjoy it? Yes, I did, but I didn't say any citrus. I don't care about that. And so, body wise, I think the body for the white would be that the guy that's tend to smoke the medium to full body. I mean, the mild to full body cigar, and the black would be the guy that enjoys and knows that he enjoys or she enjoys medium to full body cigar. So that's one thing I can definitely share with you. So body wise, look for this. Flavor wise, I would look for this. And so that doesn't say that if you're wrong, if you don't pull out that flavor notes of citrus and you turn that citrus into apple. And so, did you like it? I did. Okay, go for it. And so, in the blend for black, I would say if you're more of the medium to full body smoker, but tend to like some spice or pepper notes, because the way we're treating that filler, highlight the filler, that's going to be a great cigar for you. So, again, these terms that we're just throwing out there, it has a note of leather. Stop with this fucking leather shit. What was the last time you ate your shoe or you tasted your belt? Now, if you say, oh, it has an aroma, when I was not smoking and it's kind of a hint of leather. Okay, I agree with that. But these guys are not saying it has aroma. They're saying, oh, it has a finish of leather. What? 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 Are you okay? Okay. Okay. Yeah. So for me, if you're going to experience white, know this is for more of that smoker from mild to medium, and for black, medium to full body. That's it. Note wise, I think citrus to me, and so more pepper and spice for the black. And it's up to you to disagree or agree. But at the end of the day, did you like it? If you like it, just smoke it. Don't worry about so. Every time I've just smoked the Robusto Black, doesn't taste to me like my Toro Black. Right? It's the same, but that size, that length, that gauge
Mm-hmm.
reacts different to their smoking pleasure. So if you think you're going to be able to smoke like Flathead, we have a Lancero and a 7x70. If you're going to kid yourself, I'm going to smoke a Lancero today and experience the same thing with a 7x70. You got to be kidding me. It's up to you to decide in that frame of 5 blends or 5 sizes, which is your size. That's it. Because every manufacturer, I guarantee you, if they're truthful, if they have 3 sizes, what size do you think represents what you really had the target for? In my eyes, I would say for the black would be the Toro. That's spot on for what I wanted for body and flavor. That doesn't mean that I don't like the Robusto or the 6x60, but that to me is my go-to size. But for the white, my go-to size, believe it or not, is a 6x60. I think that combination of that filler and ratio with that wrapper just performs a little bit better. But that doesn't mean you're going to agree with me. You can say to me, you're wrong. I think the white, the best size, I smoked all 3 sizes. I love the white in Robusto, but I love the black in the 6x60. You made your own decision. Good boy. Here's a story in your head. Go home and sell it to everybody. I was a class clown today, and I got the star in my head. So.
So what, as we kind of near the end of our hour together, what is your goal with West Tampa? Like, where do you hope to take your company from here? Because obviously it's just the beginning. So what can you kind of share with us about the future of West Tampa Tobacco Company?
To continue to give you different cigars, different experience, different techniques, different tobaccos, different sizes, and different experience. So that's our goal. What we don't want to do is like launch our second product is going to be a series, a small batch series called Attic. And what we don't want to do is, oh, Attic is kind of like black or white. No, it's totally different. And I don't want to give you a cigars like Ricky. The Attic is like your Flathead or your Emma's Basin or your and no. I just wanted to give you difference. So we're going to grow. We're not going to be a large company, but we're going to be that company that if you do business with us, if you follow us as a fan of West Tampa, know this: every cigar that we're going to offer you is going to, he did it again. Completely different what I was enjoying yesterday, and now it's another cigar I enjoy from West Tampa.
So usually to close out each show, I usually ask each guest kind of the same two questions.
Okay.
The first of those questions is, what is your why? What motivates you to do what you do?
To make sure my partners and my family and anybody that's working with us at West Tampa are proud and happy that we chose them or they're able to work with us. That's my why. I get up every day making sure that I go to work and work hard to make sure that everybody is happy, from anybody's partner to my daughter to my partners in the box factories to the tobacco factories. You know what? We chose the right guy to hitch our wagon to, and so that's one of the things that's my why. Why do I do this? Is to offer you guys a different experience every time that we release a new cigar.
And the second question is, someone comes to you, they say, Rick, can you give me some advice for starting my own company, my own brand? It might not necessarily be a cigar company or related to tobacco, but they might have an idea of, like I said, something that they want to do, entrepreneurship. What's your advice to that person to get them started?
Believe in yourself and do not talk about money. Do not fucking mention money in your business plan for your partners, to the accounts that you're going to open. You're going to be able to make this much money, because that's the sign of the death. If you do that, it's not the way. Believe in yourself and just realize that you're doing it for the reason you want to do it. Your heart, your soul is into it, not the money and not the bank account. It's just I believe in this project. I can stand in front of anybody and everybody and say, you need to try this. I believe in this project. I'm not saying that out of 100 people are going to love this cigar. I don't care. But if you believe in yourself, even the guys that don't believe in your cigar will maintain and stay with you for you to launch a cigar maybe in the future for them. But you lie to them, you're dead. And if you think about money, you're dead. So if I can't say anything to anybody right now, just close. Thank you. Thank you so much for supporting this little company called West Tampa Tobacco. Thank you for believing in me enough for you to give me the opportunity to grow this little business into something that we're going to be around for years and years and years down the future. And so, it's very basic. Believe in yourself and believe in your product, and you're going to be okay.
And can you tell people what website they need to visit and what social media they need to follow in order to keep up with you in West Tampa? Because some people are obviously listening to this, so they haven't seen the banner that's been up the whole episode. So
WestTampaTobacco.com is our website. We are also on Instagram and Facebook, and you can follow West Tampa Tobacco on Instagram, Facebook, and soon, I'm fighting it, but it's the future, coming soon to what is it called? Sarah, I need your help. TikTok.
Oh, you're gonna jump on
So,
TikTok.
yeah, because again, if you look at right now, who goes to Facebook, you're 45 years old to older, and so Instagram, you're 25 to 45 or 30 to 45. If you wanted to start to reach into a new fan base, TikTok is your future. And so it's not going to be, I'm not going to dance. I'm not going to, and you're my cigar. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to kind of explain what is a cigar. And if I can help you out and choosing a cigar right for you, that is a goal for West Tampa do on TikTok. Yes.
Well, like people don't know, but like TikTok is, I think, is it and YouTube are kind of like the number 2 or 3 search engines in the world. So people don't really realize that, and so I think it's very smart to be on TikTok. And right now, I mean, you're going to be an early adapter for the cigar industry because there's
Right.
not a lot of cigar brands that are on there and like posting regularly because they think, like you said, they think, oh, this is like too young and stuff like that. But I think at some point, just like it was, everybody kind of adapted to Instagram. We're all going to be on TikTok. So I'm
Okay.
already there playing around, and I know Michael Herklotz is there, and Karen Berger, and just the name, and Matt Booth. So it's definitely where people need to businesses need to kind of start focusing a little bit of time just figuring out. And like you said, it could just be you delivering educational information on how to do something
Exactly.
and putting your brand out there because there's going to be a point where you'll have this humongous following, I'm sure, and all these other companies will be trying to kind of copy what you and Sarah are doing. So
We'll have fun. We'll have fun on it. We're not serious. We're not a serious company. I bust chops and I bust myself and all that. We'll have fun, but at the end of the day is education. And if we can deliver that message 2 or 3 ways, one is more, cut and dry with Facebook, or more pictures with Instagram. But TikTok, if you do it the right way, you'll get your following. And so just pick it and be true to yourself. If you're known for being that kind of cut up guy, add some of that. If you're known for being serious, add that too. But know this is the future, and so it is where I go to for a lot of recipes right now.
mhm.
For cooking, and so it's not only about the craziness and TikTok to have to offer, but there is some information that you can go to TikTok and visit. It's like, oh, I just learned something about that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we'll be looking for you to be on TikTok any day
I
now.
am too. I am
And,
too. I
I
am
want to
too.
thank you again for coming on today and sharing your story. And we'll have to have you back on in the near future. Maybe we can convince Sarah to kind of join you because I think having that dynamic of father daughter and also the marketing side and the face of
Yep.
the company will obviously I think will be a very interesting discussion. So we'll have to kind of work that into the near future, to have you both on here.
We
Um,
would love the opportunity. Know this: our door is always open to you, my friend.
Thank you so
Always
much.
open. So just let us know, and if my schedule could fit it, we're going to do it very soon.
Well, I hope you have a great time in Intertabac. I know that that's the next big event that you'll be at for those people who are going to be at that show. So I want to thank everyone for watching. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, just make sure you hit that like or subscribe button. If you're listening to this on any of the podcasting platforms, make sure you hit the subscribe button and leave a review, because reviews help me to improve what we do here. And I always say that there's always room for improvement. So you're not going to hurt my feelings if there's something that you think we can do better. Or if you like something, also, that's a great thing to comment on as well. We have 2 more shows this week, so it'll be crazy. It's kind of like pandemic year where we had shows almost every day. So we have another show tomorrow with Nomos Cigars, and then one on Thursday with Martinez Cigars. So completely different stories, and it'll be completely interesting. And if you miss any of this episode or want to see the other 102 or 103 episodes that are out there, just go to deepcutslive.com and you can see all the past episodes in video and audio format. So Thank you again, Rick, and thank you everyone for watching. And until next time.
Bye bye.